Hi, Tiffany Arielle here, and we are back with another video. So today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing a Daily Harvest box. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Daily Harvest. I just saw like random ads about it. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I just tried this out and I liked it, so I figured I would share with y'all. But basically, they are a service. You can get plant-based items. They have different types of items, and you pick your items. It comes in a box. It comes every week, and it goes like that. So I had seen like ads going around, and I kind of wanted to try it because I like that A, it's healthy, like food, and B, all you have to do is just kind of like microwave and stuff like that. So it's really easy to prepare. It's not like HelloFresh where you have to like cook the food. It basically comes already ready. You just microwave or, put it on the stove or whatever it may be. And so I decided to try it out because I've had a lot going on the past like month or two, like the past month or so. And I just kind of needed to take a break from cooking. I mean, I've still been doing a little bit of cooking, but not as much. Like I haven't had the time or the energy for that matter. And going forward, I felt like it would be a good option for me because I am going to be eating a lot of meals at work once I go back to work because we do have free food at my job. So it's not really going to make sense for me to meal prep the way that I was previously meal prepping since I'm going to be eating a decent amount of my meals at work. So I figured something like this would be perfect to try out since it's a relatively affordable, which I'll get into more details of that later, but it's healthy and, I don't really have to do anything. So first things first, let's talk about how does it work. So you go on the website, and you can pick like different sizes of boxes. I think for the first box, you can do like 9 items or 14 items or maybe like 20 something. I'm not sure exactly what the sizes are. I did the 14 item box. Once you go through your first box, you do have more options in terms of what you can do. Like I think the smallest box you can do is like 6 items. So I'm probably going to do like a much smaller box of items going forward. Right now my mom is staying with me, so that's why I have, a bigger box. But yeah, so you pick your items. They have smoothies, they have flatbreads, they have chia bowls, oat bowls, forager bowls, harvest bowls, soups, lattes, some type of like snack balls. They have like milk, which is like their like almond milk. They have like scoops, which is like their version of ice cream. It's not real ice cream, I'm sure, because nothing has dairy in it or meat in it. I have not seen anything that has any type of animal product. Most of the items are also gluten-free from what I've seen. I've just seen like oats, rice, quinoa. Actually, no, I don't think I've seen quinoa. Oats, rice, and like sweet potatoes is basically the carbs that I've seen. But everything is pretty much just like fruits, vegetables, and like beans and lentils. Like it's very like it's plant-based. It's very like friendly to people who are vegetarian, gluten-free, whatever it is. And yeah, so you pick your items. The costs vary depending on the type of item. I think the cheapest items are like about $5.99, which would be like the oat bowls, the chia bowls. And the more expensive items are like $8.99, which is like the harvest bowls, the flatbreads, and stuff like that. I have not tried all of the items. I have tried the smoothies, I have tried the flatbreads, and I have tried the harvest bowls. So that is all I will be talking about in this video. But in terms of the taste and everything like that, the items have tasted good. I haven't eaten any of them and been like, oh, this is nasty, I don't like it. I've generally enjoyed the food. There are some that I like more than others, but all of them to me are things that I could eat. Like I have not had anything so far that I've had and been like, I never want to eat this ever again. So everything has tasted good. The foods, they do generally season the food, and they try to include a lot of like herbs and like things that have a lot of natural flavor, so that things are still flavorful. I haven't felt the need to add seasoning or add salt or anything like that to any of the items. But other people may want to add salt. I don't like a lot of salt in my food, so for me, that's probably why I didn't need to add salt. But I mean, you could always add that. That's no big deal. In terms of the quality of the food, from the website, they say nearly all of our ingredients are organic, and we say NO to the bad stuff. No fillers, gums, refined sugars, harmful oils, stabilizers, or artificial anything is in our food. I think I mentioned before that it's all plant-based, but one thing you do need to keep in mind if you do have dietary restrictions or certain things that you just don't like, when you're choosing your items, they're going to kind of show you a snippet of the ingredients. That is not all of the ingredients. When you click on the item, there's another menu that says like all ingredients. You need to make sure you click on that because basically I accidentally bought a smoothie that had bananas in it because I didn't look at all ingredients, and I don't like bananas. Thankfully my mother is here, so she drank that smoothie. But yeah, just keep that in mind. If you do have any type of allergy or just ingredients that you don't like, make sure you click the all ingredients so that you can like make sure. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of that. So does it keep you full? I would say the smoothies not so much. Like the smoothie is the type of thing that you kind of sip on if you just need to hold yourself over from eating for a couple of hours. But I feel like that smoothies in general, maybe that's just me, but I've never really just had a smoothie and then been full for like hours. Like usually it's like I have a smoothie and then maybe like 2 hours later I'm ready to eat food. Like I had a smoothie this morning to get me through filming, and I'm definitely a little hungry now, but that was also like 3 hours ago I had the smoothie, so it makes sense that I would be hungry now. But yeah, the smoothies I would say so far are the least filling items. But if you want to make it more filling, you could always add like Greek yogurt, or you could add protein powder to the smoothie or something like that. I also did at one point make a smoothie bowl because I was actually more hungry that day, and I blended the smoothie and then I stirred in some Greek yogurt and like added some granola and made it like a whole little bowl. So you could definitely do that as well. The other items I would say are more filling. Generally speaking, if I eat one of the flatbreads or the harvest bowls, I probably won't be hungry for about 4 hours or so, which is pretty standard for me. I'm the type of person who I'll typically eat at like maybe 11 or 12, then I'll eat again around like 3 or 4, and then I'll eat again at like 7 or 8. Sometimes depending on what I was doing that day, I might get hungry again at like 10 or 11 before I go to bed. So that's pretty much how I eat. So the amount of food that this has is pretty much perfect for me and my eating schedule. If you are a person who does not like to eat that frequently, you like to eat bigger meals, or you need more protein, because since it's pretty much all vegetables, they are fairly low in protein. You could always add like an additional protein source. Like if you're a vegetarian, you could add like tofu, or you could add more beans or lentils to the item. If you eat meat, you could meal prep like some chicken, like bake some chicken or cook some shrimp or some fish and kind of add that to the bowls. The bowls are really easy to add stuff to. At one point, my mom had made some like Italian sausage links, and so I took one link, I cut that up, I added it to my bowl. I had some Texas toast on the side because I just like bread. And that lasted me for like the whole day. Like I was like full, you know? So I would say if you add like a protein source, like you're definitely going to be like very, very full. You don't have to do this, but if you just want more substance or you need more protein because you exercise, then that's definitely a good option. I have not yet tried the breakfast bowls, the snack bowls, the soups, the desserts, or any of that, as I mentioned before, so I won't mention those in this video, but I'm sure they're fine given everything else has been fine. So let's move on to price. The price is pretty reasonable. In my opinion, the individual items range from $5.99 to $8.99. I think I talked about this already. So for me, I got 14 items in my box. So those 14 items were 6 harvest bowls, which are $8.99 each, 4 flatbreads, also $8.99 each, and 4 smoothies, which are $7.99 each. And so for those 14 items, I paid a total of $112 before any discounts. So that is an average of about $8 per item, which I would say is definitely a reasonable cost for a meal. Like, it's comparable to what you would pay, you know, at a fast food restaurant. If I went to Smoothie King and got a smoothie, I would probably pay like $6 or $7. So it's really not too much different than what I would pay. And, you know, this is at home. Now, I will say you could make smoothies cheaper if you bought like frozen fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, but it's just, you're paying for convenience basically when it comes to the smoothies. And in terms of the harvest bowls and stuff, yes, you could buy a bunch of produce and make them yourself, but again, you're paying for convenience. Which works for me because a lot of the time I don't feel like cooking. I don't have the energy. Also, I forgot to mention all of these items live in the freezer, right? So you don't really have to worry about them like going bad in 2 days because they live in the freezer. You just take it out of the freezer and, you know, you microwave it. So it's basically like it achieves the concept of fast food, but it's like way healthier than eating fast food. So when I ordered, they did have a promotion. So I got $50 off my first box because it was like their anniversary or something like that. They are not having that promotion anymore as far as I can tell, but they do have a referral program. So I do have a link. So if you use my link, which is down below in the description box, you can save $35 off your first box. So for me, my first box was $62. So if it was $35 off, it would have been like another 15, which would have been 77. So $77, which is still like pretty affordable. It's maybe like $6 an item, which I would say is definitely affordable. So I would definitely recommend trying it out for just like a couple weeks if you are interested in just kind of cooking less or maybe just eating healthier. Maybe you just want to get a small box just to add, more vegetables into your diet. But yeah, I would try it out for a couple weeks, see how you like it. You can cancel it at any time. There's not like a contract that I signed. You can also skip individual boxes if you just don't need it that week. So for example, I actually skipped it this week because Thanksgiving is this week and we're going to be making like food for Thanksgiving. So I really didn't need more stuff. You can also pause it. So like if you know that you're going to be like, I don't know, traveling for 3 weeks, you could like pause it and then come back and like resume it when you get back. Or in that case, you would actually skip. So you can skip multiple. They give you the option to edit up to 8 weeks in advance. You can either add items, remove items, change items, skip, all that good stuff up to 8 weeks in advance. What else did I want to add? Oh, one thing that's a little bit tricky is that while you can make changes to each individual box, you have to do it by Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Even though my box comes on Thursday, I still have to make the changes by like 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is like 5 p.m. my time. So I basically have to like set a reminder so that I remember to update my box. If you don't update it, they will just send you the same thing that you got the previous week. You can also override things for a specific box. So like, let's say like my normal box size is like 7 items, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have guests, I want to order more items, so I could like add more items for one box and be like, save for this specific box. So those are the kinds of things you can do as well. So I would say it's reasonably flexible. That was the initial reason that I didn't try it, because I kind of didn't really like the idea of a subscription. But the way that it's set up, I think it kind of works, the way you can just like skip weeks or things of that nature. So I don't think there's anything else I wanted to share in this video. Let me know down below if you decide to try Daily Harvest. I'm really curious if any of you guys have tried it or are thinking about trying it, like what your thoughts are on it. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.